Today we're recapping the NBA past couple weeks, as well as going through my predictions for the NBA Cup. Let's go. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It's Zack here. We're breaking down the NBA. It's been a minute. I've been out of the country for a little bit, so we're coming back to the NBA. It's been crazy while I've been gone, but today we're going to go through faves and flops. We're going to do that a little bit with my favorite players, teams, as well as some flops with the players and the teams from the past week or two that I've been out. And then also towards the end, we're going to go through the NBA Cup. I'm going to go through each group, kind of break down my predictions. I did this last year, actually, and I actually had the Pacers. I was all board, all on the Pacers. So we're going to go through that and see what I think about that stuff today. A lot has happened since I've been gone, honestly. The injury bug has plagued the NBA right now. I mean, with Paolo and Ja Morant. I'm just kind of blank right now, but so many players have just been getting hurt, so kind of sad. Chet's out. I mean, there's a lot of injuries going around, so kind of sad about that, but the league's been kind of crazy right now. Giannis just had a crazy game against the Pistons. Wemby dropped 50. Jordan Poole had a big game, too. So the NBA faves and flops are going first, starting off with the East. My favorite player recently, Benedict Mathurin for the Pacers. I mean, he's at 20 a game with 7 boards, 2 dimes. He's someone that, I feel like people have forgotten about a little bit. Last year with this crazy run from the Pacers, he literally was hurt and he was injured. And I think some people kind of forgot about him, and he's played very well this season. It's funny because his fit around Siakam kind of seems like it won't work very well, even around Turner. But, he's really played well, and I think people have just kind of buried him with, the Obi Toppin, the Ben Shepherd, that crazy bench unit that they've had in the playoffs last season with Neesmith, too. And Nembhard, but Mathurin's hey, I'm still here and I can hoop, and he has been phenomenal every time I've seen him play. In the West, it's Steph Curry. Oh my lord, guys. I am so glad I put on that Klay Thompson Splash Brothers reunion game against the Warriors. Mavericks came to town, and that game was phenomenal. I mean, Klay was basically winning, and he was cooking. The Mavericks were up. It was kind of a back and forth game. The fourth quarter was pretty fire, but Steph was, he got to the bucket. I tell you, he was missing so many easy layups, and Klay hit this shot, and then he shimmied, and Steph, you could see Steph was nah, we ain't doing this. And Steph ended the game on this crazy, typical Steph Curry run. He hits the night-night on him, bro, and I think he had the last 12 points for the Warriors, and they won the game, and hits that nasty 3 on Lively like Steph. It's got to be Steph, because watching that game, I just kind of got emo. I was Steph's going to be gone. I was no. I can't. Once he retires, I'll be so sad, but no, it was so sick to see Steph just kind of ball out like that against Klay. With the East flop player, I'm sticking with the Pacers because Tyrese Haliburton, I thought he could recover by now, but now it's been a couple weeks, and he is still struggling, guys. Shooting the ball, he's at 39% on twos and 27% on trays. It's not looking great for Haliburton right now, and I love this guy so much. I've mentioned him before, but he's one of my favorites, just the way he can kind of maneuver and facilitate around the court, but if the shot's not falling, it's been kind of bad for him. So the Pacers they're not having a crazy successful year. They also haven't fallen off, as I'll probably mention later. Most of the East is literally 500, so it's not really impacting them that much, but I want to see how we're going to step up some more and get into that form we kind of saw him last year around the NBA in-season tournament time. The West flop player, this is not that he's been horrible, but Devin Booker, he's basically so he is averaging right now basically career lows in shot attempts and then it's weird because then you'd think that would still correlate to he's still shooting the ball well, he's not taking that many shots. No, he's career low in field goal percentage, career low in 3-point percentage, and he's at 23 games, 7 assists. He's been pretty good facilitating wise, but especially right now with Durant out, Beal is just out. They need more from him. So I'd really love to see him step up is why I'm kind of giving him this flop. It's more of a kind of hungry for more. I want to see him kind of just ball out these next couple weeks so the Suns can kind of stay there, stay hot, and then when KD comes back, they can keep pushing. So I just want to see Booker kind of get going because I love D-Book. All right, my East fave team right now. This is kind of a weird one, but it's the Orlando Magic, actually, and bear with me. They lost 5 in a row, and it was looking bad. I was oh, they're going to slide. Paolo will come back, but, they're going to be pretty deep down there. But they've won 4 in a row. I mean, it hasn't been, crazy competition. I think it was, the Pelicans, the Wizards. 4 in a row, and Franz is really getting going. I think the last 5 games he's been up above 23 a game. And, I've just been impressed with how they've been playing recently. And I know it's a little bit easier competition, but any win is going to be really big for them to continue to stay. They need to stay around that 500 range for when Paolo comes back, and I think they can continue to play well. So the Magic have impressed me recently. In the West, I refuse to mention the Nuggets' 5-game win streak, so we're going to slide them to the side. And honestly, I still want to talk about the Warriors because I think everyone was so low on them, and I just had them as that dark horse penciled in. And I even heard, I think it was Reggie Miller on the podcast or on the broadcast talking about how he doesn't really think that the Warriors can do that much with this deeper rotation and everything. But I mean, that's kind of the point. Like, as playoff times come, yeah, you shorten your rotation, but they're having this much success running 12 like this. Like, it just confuses teams. You can see them run through. Bajemski comes in, Moody comes in, Siobhan O'Heal comes in. No, I think I love what I'm seeing from them because they get so many guys minutes and touches, and the defense of intensity has been great from them. And I think it keeps the team hyped and keeps them together. And it's not like you're having an 8-man rotation and the bench guys are kind of just there to celebrate the ankle breakers and the trays. They all get some run and they all can see each other shine. So I really like what I'm seeing, a continuity standpoint from the Warriors this season. My East flop team is basically everyone that is not the Celtics or the Cavs. I guess the Magic have it's kind of been nice with their little run, but literally everyone is 5-6, 5-7. It's kind of gross in the East right now. It doesn't matter if you're the Sixers, the Bucks, the Knicks. Everyone is just so mid right now. And I think it's a lot of teams trying to figure out rotations and see their guys run. You see it with the Knicks trying to figure things out. The Sixers have just been injury ridden. The Bucks are the Bucks. I don't know. We don't even talk about them. But just overall, the East has just been really gross this season. So that's my flop. And then my West flop team is going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they've lost 3 in a row. But just every time, they're always on a primetime game. But every time I turn it on and I see them, it just makes me want to throw up, guys. I'm just sitting there is it the other team's ball now? I just can't. I don't know what it is. I mean, Dante's really struggled. Randall's actually been pretty solid, but that's the thing in New York. He'd do the same thing. Randall would be oh my gosh, he's got 28, but it's the offense just is stagnant. It's Randall catching it, giving you a jab, and just putting his head down, just bully balling to the bucket, and it's fine to do that, but you see it in Milwaukee too. Giannis can't just get the ball on the perimeter and just bully balls away. Yeah, you can, but it's not gonna get you what you want. So Minnesota's just, I think they need that other scorer has been their problem. And I mean, a lot of us thought Dante would be able to prove that he can actually get that 6-man role, but he hasn't been great so far. So we'll kind of want to see that improve. Ant's been good, but I don't know. I just haven't liked what I've seen from the Timberwolves. All right, it's time for the NBA Cup predictions. This is the NBA Emirates Cup now. It's not the in-season tournament, which I like that. I like they kind of gave it a cup, I'm blanking, a European soccer tournament, something cool like that, But basically, if you guys don't know, the Cup, the rules, each team's going to play 4 group games. The groups are 5. There's 3 groups in the East, 3 groups in the West, and then you're going to get the top team from each group, and then 2 wild cards as well will advance. And so you basically have quarters, semis, and then the final in Vegas. So it's kind of cool. I liked it last year. I thought it was a great idea. The courts were pretty atrocious last year, but they already did play 1 game. I think by the time you guys see this, some of the teams will finish off playing in the groups. Only one or 2 teams in the group have played games, so not too much cheating going on with the predictions, but yeah, so far the courts I've seen are phenomenal this year. They're way better. They've kind of gone away from those nasty reds and blues, and the Celtics green might be the most out there, but it's still a little more muted, so I like it. But yeah, let's get into it. West, Group A, I'm naming this the Group of Death because I have honestly no clue what's going to happen. You have the Kings, Clippers, Rockets, Timberwolves, and Blazers, and that is the order that I have them in. I think the Kings are going to come out of this group. We did have the Wolves and the Blazers play already, and the Blazers somehow beat them. Shaedon Sharpe was phenomenal in that game. He's kind of actually interesting to watch. That's probably save it for another time, but I like his game sometimes, but sometimes he takes some really weird shots. But other than that, he had a nasty putback dunk in that game too, so he's athletic out of hell. So I don't know. But Wolves lost that one. I already had them pretty low anyways. I don't think they were going to beat these other teams out, so not much cheating going on there. But I think the Kings win this group because they get the Wolves and the Rockets at home, and I think that's big for this. They do have to go into the Intuit Dome and play the Clippers, but I think they can handle the Blazers and the Clippers. And then getting the Wolves and the Rockets at home, I think, helps them. So I could see him getting out of this like at 4-1 or 3-1, maybe 4-0. But I think I like them to get out of this group. West Group B. This is the defending champs group. We got the Lakers. I think are going to take this group. I think the Lakers will go back and get this. But a lot of it's going to depend on the other guys. Because if Durant comes back, it could be a problem with that Lakers-Suns matchup. Because I think Durant should be back for that, but we're not sure. Chet won't be back, so I don't think the Thunder will win this group because of that. But I'm going Lakers, Suns, Thunder, Spurs, then the Jazz in last. I'd be surprised if the Jazz do anything. They did just play the Suns. The Suns beat them, so yeah. My big thing is as long as Anthony Davis is fine, he was hurt, but I think they should be fine. And, I mean, they're the defending champs, so I think they all kind of care. I think that they want to win again. Like, it kind of makes sense to me. Like, you're the defending champs. Like, I feel like they would actually care a little bit. So, I mean, I think it's really good time to come down to if Durant is back for that Suns-Lakers game, which I feel like they've played so many freaking times already. But, yeah, that's what I think about that one. Then, finally, West Group C. This is the group I'm labeling the injured bunch. This group, everyone's freaking injured in this group. I think the Warriors are finally the healthiest. And I think I have them winning this group too. I had them at 1 over the Mavericks, and they just played that huge game the other day, and the Warriors did beat them. So I got the Warriors, Mavericks, Nuggets in third, Grizzlies, then Pelicans. The Mavs are a little hurt right now. Kyrie didn't play the other night against Utah. The Nuggets don't have Aaron Gordon. Grizzlies, no Ja. Pelicans are playing an entire G League roster. So, this group's kind of gross, but I like the Warriors to get out of this because the biggest matchup was that Warriors-Mavericks game. So I think because they got over that one, the next one is like whoever can win against the Nuggets. Because if the Nuggets can just go plow through the Mavs and the Warriors, I think they win the group. But I think if the Mavs or the Warriors can pick up a dub against the Nuggets, then I think they could get over the group. And the way the Warriors are playing, I think that they've got it against either one of those. So it'll be an interesting group. Moving out east, I labeled this group a cakewalk for New York because I think the Knicks should plow through this group, but also the Sixers are just throwing guys in that are all of a sudden, like Embiid and Paul George are now playing. They weren't playing. Maxi's out. It's chaos. I don't know what's going to happen. So they did just barely, the Knicks and Sixers played. So the Knicks won, which to me is big because they won, and I think they're going to beat everyone else because they get the Magic, the Hornets, the Nets, and I don't think anyone's beating New York. So I think this is a cakewalk for New York because they beat the Sixers. I had the Knicks, then Magic, then Sixers, Hornets, then Nets. I was tempted to do something with the Hornets, but I don't know. That's just what I got. I think New York has this group pretty easy. Then we got the East Group B. I labeled this group the Battle of the Mids because I think this group is kind of just mid. I don't know. It's a collection of mid teams. My predictions, I have the Pacers winning this group again and getting out and kind of doing what they did last year, I think, a little bit. If they can get a little more Halliburton magic, I think they can really make a run in this. But Pacers, Bucks, Heat, Pistons, then the Raptors. The Pacers haven't played a game in the group yet. They're the only one. The Bucks won a game. The Heat lost a game over the crazy thing that happened with the Pistons. That was freaking wild. Coach Spo calling the timeout. But the Raptors also lost, so the Pistons could do something magical. They already beat one of the 3 teams they really got to beat. Like, I think they can beat the Raptors already. The Bucks, they literally should have beat them last night. They played a normal game, and they should have beat the Bucks, but Ron Holland kind of choked at the free throw line, so that one was a good game. But, I think the Pacers can get out of this group because I don't see the Bucks being able to beat them, and I think the Pacers will care. I think they actually care about the tournament, so that's what I think. And finally, the East Group C. This is a group I'm labeling, well, it's interesting because I made this before, so the label is the who cares? Like, who cares about this group? Like, it's really just the Celtics and the Cavs. Whoever wins that game is going to win this thing. But the Celtics literally threw a game last night. They were favored by 15. To a spread by 15 to open the game is crazy in the NBA. And the Hawks beat them in Boston. So now I have no clue what's going to happen. I think that's pretty big because now that Celtics-Cavs game, even if the Cavs lose, could come down to point differential. So the Cavs could actually win this group. I still think the Celtics will get on top of it. Then I got Celtics, Cavs, Hawks, Bulls, and Wizards. But with the Hawks win, with literally none of their guys playing, that kind of shakes it up because now the Hawks, if they can go do something against the Cavs, they could definitely make a run in this. So this group turned into the who cares to like actually a pretty exciting group. So we'll kind of see how this one plays out. I still think, like I said, the Celtics are going to win it, barring any like crazy things. But the Celtics-Cavs game is going to be the matchup of the tournament for sure, and it's in Boston, so that's kind of why I think the Celtics will win this group. But they just lost to the Hawks G League squad in Boston, so I don't really know. But yeah, that sums up my little group standing NBA Cup. I'll revisit it once we get actually into the playoffs of the NBA Cup, because then you'll actually have the wild cards in the seed. It's kind of tough to predict like who's going to get out because of the like the point differential and stuff. But overall, I think the Cavs could get out as a second wild card because the point differential. I think they can really score as well as limit teams in scoring. Another team just kind of running through the East. I don't know. Like, I don't really like the Bucks this season, honestly, even though I have them in second in the group. So, like, I guess they could sneak in. But maybe even the Magic, the way they've been playing. So, the East will be kind of interesting with the wild card. With the West, I think the Mavs or the Nuggets. Mavs, Nuggets, and Suns are the three that I'm, like, really looking at to see if they can get it on point differential. But the Suns have been hurt too, so even with this Beal and Durant thing, I don't really know. So maybe even a Clippers Rockets, someone could sneak out of that Group A in the West too. So yeah, that's the NBA Cup. This has been the NBA recap as well for a little bit. Let me know what you guys thought about the last couple weeks of the NBA. What are you guys liking? What are you guys not liking? I think this is gonna be an exciting season. It's been shaping up pretty good so far. We got some heavy favorites, but a little bit of wildness in the middle of the Western and Eastern conferences. So yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for checking it out.